In the last lectures, we have covered lecture number 19, right? Active power, power factor improvement. I told you one of the question is very important from this one, and we have covered the resonance also, Q factor, half power frequencies, bandwidth. One of the question will come from there. Then we have covered the phasor diagram and the RC series circuit. One question will come from here. Now in today's lecture we'll cover the parallel circuit. Okay, so one of the question from the parallel circuit will definitely come. For the parallel circuit, what you need to learn, there are basically two forms. One of the form is the rectangular form, okay, and another form is the polar form. For this one you need calculator. Without calculator you won't be able to solve it further. Rectangular is the form of r plus jx and polar is the form of r angle theta. Okay, if you'll have RL component, then Z impedance is in the form of R plus jXL, and if you'll have RC, then impedance is in the form of R minus jXC. If you want to do addition and subtraction, that will be possible in rectangular form, and if you want to do multiplication and division, that would be possible in polar form. Okay, let's see how. Suppose you will have Z1 value as 4 plus J6 and Z2 value as 2 plus J4, and if you want to add it, Z1 plus Z2, so add real part with the real part. 4 plus 2 is how much? Tell me. 6 plus imaginary term is added with the imaginary term, that is 6 plus 4. So 6 plus 4 is 10. So similarly we can do Z1 minus Z2. 4 minus 2 is 2. J6 minus J4 is minus J2, right? Correct? Similarly we'll have polar form. Polar form is like, suppose Z1 is equal to 4 angle 30 degree and Z2 is equal to 6 angle 20 degree, and if you want to multiply, Z1 multiplied by Z2 is how much? That would be how much? That is 4 angle 30 multiplied by 6 angle 20, right? So real term is multiplied with the real term as it is. 6 4 ja 24, and in the multiplication angle would be added, that would be 30 plus 20, 24 angle 50 degree. Similarly if we want to divide Z1 divided by Z2, 4 angle 30 divided by 6 angle 20 is, real term is divided by the real term, that is 2 by 3, and angle would be subtracted, that is 30 minus 20, that is equal to 2, right? 2 by 3 angle 10 degree. Clear? So this you need to understood it. But what if we'll have the rectangular form like 6 plus j10 and we want to multiply or divide something, so for that you need to convert it into the polar form. Okay, for that you need to convert it into the polar form. Like suppose, how will you convert it? Again by using the calculator only. Suppose you will have in the rectangular form Z is equal to 2 plus J6. This is in J form, means it's in rectangular form, and you want to convert it into polar form. So how will you convert? Take out your calculator, press mode and then 1. Your calculator will be in normal mode. Okay, then the main procedure is you have to press shift and then you have to press I think there is a above the minus button pole. First of all press, I'll tell you by starting from the starting. First of press on, okay, then press shift, then press plus button, and then in the calculator you will get pole. Yes or no? Hmm? So pole x comma y, x is how much? Like suppose this one you want to convert it into the polar form. So it would be 2 comma 6 bracket close. Okay. 2 comma 6 bracket close and equal to. So see, you are getting this value, whatever the value they have, write it in yellow terms in the calculator, that you will get it by using shift button. Okay. Now suppose this is in polar form and we want to convert back into the rectangular form. So how will we convert? How will we able to convert? Then press shift, then minus. Okay. Then you will get rec in the calculator. Then write down 6.32 and then 7 comma 71.56 bracket close. Tell me what you will get it. You are getting 1.99, that is approximately 2 only, and for this one you are getting 5.99, so approximately that is 6 only. Now you got it how to convert it. Now see, this is from your paper only, April 2019. They ask you to calculate input current. So for that, input current means I, right? That is the total current. So for that we need total voltage divided by the total impedance, right? So total voltage they have already given 100 volt, but we don't know the total impedance. So let us consider this one would be Z1, right? And let us consider this one would be Z2, because we have to see it in a combined way. And then this one would be Z3. Okay. So can we say that total impedance is Z1 parallel Z2 parallel Z3? Yes or no? Hmm. But for that we should know the values also. Z3 is given 10 ohm, Z2 is in the form of R and L, and as I told you, if there is R and L, then Z will write it as in the form of R plus JXL, right? So it would be in the form of Z2 is equal to R plus JXL. R is known, that is 4 ohm. J is known, but XL we don't know because they have given is in the form of Henry. So it would be 2 pi FL. 2 pi F is frequency 50 Hertz and L is 0.02, right? So we need to solve it, then we'll get Z2. Similarly, we can get Z1. Z1 is in the form of R and C, so it would be R minus JXC, right? So if I'll put the value, Z is equal to 8 minus J 1 by 2 pi FC. 2 we know, pi we know, 50 we know, SC we know. C is how much? 200 microfarad, means 200 into 10 raised to power minus 6 farad, right? So can we get this value for Z1, Z2 and Z3? So now we need to calculate Z equivalent or Z total. That would be Z1 parallel Z2 parallel Z3, right? So Z1 parallel Z2 parallel Z3. How will you solve it? By like 1 by Z equivalent is equal to 1 by Z1 plus 1 by Z2 plus 1 by Z3, right? So after solving it, you will get the value of Z equivalent. I am directly telling you that you will get it as 4.596 plus J 1.47 is in the form of rectangular, and 4.826 angle 17.74 is in the form of polar. Okay, so Z equivalent is this one. Correct? Now the next part, input current, we need to calculate input current. Current is how much? V by Z. V is given 100. If no angle is given, we can consider it as 0. Z equivalent we have calculated, that is 4.826 angle 17.74. If we'll solve it, then what we'll get? As I told you, normal term is divided by the normal term. So 20.72 and angle would be subtracted. So 0 minus 17.74 is minus 17.74. This is the value of current we obtained. Okay. Next part, they are asking the power factor. As you know, power factor is what? Cos phi. Hmm? Power factor is what? Cos phi. So phi angle, we need to calculate it. So power factor is cos phi, and phi is always the angle of impedance. Okay, that means phi is how much? 17.74, because what we are getting the angle of impedance 17.74 now. So it would be cos phi is equal to 17.74. So it would be cos of 17.74, right? Can you solve it and then tell me the answer? So you can write it down in your formula or if somewhere, that whatever the angle of z will get, that would be equal to phi. Okay, so we are getting the angle of z is 17.74. This is phi. So cos of 17.74 is 0.95, right? Understood? We get the power factor value as well. In the next part, they ask you to calculate total power consumed. So total power consumed means the active power. Okay, power consumed means active power, and active power is vi cos phi. Voltage we know 100. Current we have calculated over here, that is 20.72, and cos phi we have calculated 0.95, right? One thing you need to notice it here, that never take angle of voltage and current while calculating power. This is a very most important point. Maximum of the student do this mistake. They'll take 100 angle 0 and 20.72 angle something. As I have done, no angle, right? Because this angle is consumed over here. So we don't need to take the angle of voltage and current while calculating any of the power. Understood? See, in this case, if there is L means inductance, then its standard unit is Henry. Henry is denoted by H. And if it is XL, then its standard unit is ohm. So by the unit only we'll get to know that whether they have given the L or XL. Okay. So I'll tell you for the capacitor also. Capacitor standard unit is farad, that is denoted by F, and if there is XC, then its standard unit is ohm, that is denoted by ohm. So do it. Now tell me, this 3 ohm, this is 3 ohm, this they have provided you the L or XL? XL, right? You don't need to calculate XL. In the earlier question, they have given you Henry microfarad, means L and C is given, you need to calculate XL and XC, but they have already directly gave you the XL and they directly gave you the XC. You don't need to convert it. Okay, so you'll get it to know by considering the units also. Don't ignore units. See, in this question, calculate admittance each parallel branch, so it would be y3 1 by z, y1 is 1 by z1, y2 is 1 by z, right? So I'm calculating y2. Y2 is equal to 1 by z, 1 by z2, z how much? Minus j8. So it's in division form. For division we need to convert it into the polar form, right? So 1 comma, so if it is minus, you have to take minus only. Okay, 6 comma minus 8, that would be same. 1 angle 10 angle minus 3, right? So 1 by 10 is 0.1, angle 0 of minus 50 become plus 50. This is the polar form, but 0.13 basically. After decimal, two digits are enough. Okay. Now you need to convert it into rectangular form. Shift rec 0.1 comma 0.1, right? So what you will get it? You will get it as 0.06. And after decimal are enough, that would be 0.0. This is the value we got it for the y2. Similarly, can you get it for y1 and z1? Sorry, y1 and y3, right or not? The total circuit impedance. How will we get total circuit impedance? Z1 and Z2 are in parallel. Z1 parallel Z2 in addition with Z3. So every time you have to convert it. Like if you want to do multiplication, then polar, you have to do addition, then rectangular. Okay. So Z1 parallel Z2. How can you get Z1 parallel Z2? Will have two methods like Z1 into Z2 divided by Z1 plus Z2. Either you can adopt this or you can do Z1 by Z1 plus 1 by Z2 is equal to, let us consider Z12, then that would be 1 by Z1. But maximum of the student forget to reciprocal it. Okay. In this case, you have to remember that whatever you are getting the answer, you have to inverse, right? 1 by. So now after getting impedance, you can get admittance also, that is total admittance is 1 by. Now you need to calculate supply current. Now supply current is I is equal to V by Z. Calculated Z we have calculated. Power factor is cos phi, and cos phi is how much? Phi angle of impedance, you will get it, then that would be phi only. Now similarly you need to calculate active power and reactive power. Active power formula is P is equal to VI cos phi. You already calculated P, you already calculated VI cos phi. Similarly Q is equal to VI sin phi. Now see, the thing is, if your this question first part is wrong, that depends on the second part. If second part is wrong, that depends on the third part. Means if your first part is wrong, then all of the part is wrong, right? So you have to be very careful in calculation, right? From your paper question only. Next one, 2023, 2021 question paper. Draw the circuit diagram. See, in these kinds of question, we need to calculate in these types of question. Here impedance are connected in series as well as in parallel. Like suppose here are two impedance, one of the impedance is this one. These two are connected in parallel with the series of this one. So in maximum time, we'll use current division rule for these kinds of circuit. What is current division rule? I'll tell you first for the simple method. Current division rule is used to calculate current, the very first thing. Second thing, current division rule is applicable only in parallel circuit. It is not applicable in series circuit. Okay. Like suppose we'll have 4, 6, 8. This is 10 volt. This is I. This is I1. This is I2. We need to calculate the value for I1 and I2 by using current division rule. So there is a direct formula basically. I1 is equal to total current multiplied by the resistance which is connected opposite to I1. Like we need to calculate I1, the opposite resistance is 8 ohm. So 8 ohm divided by the sum of resistor which are connected in parallel. So 8 and 6 are connected in parallel, so it would be 8 plus 6. Similarly, can you tell me the formula for the I2? Now in this case also we can apply the same thing. I1 is equal to total current, we don't know. The opposite impedance is 4 plus J6 divided by the sum of impedance which are connected in parallel. So 4 plus J6 plus 5 plus, this is in microfarad. So you need to calculate it. That would be 5 minus 1 by 2 pi. F is frequency 50 and C is 261.1, 65.1 into 10 raised power minus 6, right? So but we don't have I also, we need to get I would be how much? E by Z, but for that we should know total Z equivalent. So total Z equivalent is how much? Again, suppose this is Z1, this is Z2 and this is Z3. So in this case Z equivalent is Z1 parallel Z2 plus Z3, right? We can substitute the value of Z equivalent as here, then we'll get voltage is given, then we'll get current, we can substitute it here, then we'll get I1, I2 by the similar way. See, these questions are easy to understood but difficult to do because maximum of the student do calculation mistake. Suppose if you by mistake addition is wrong, so your whole question will be wrong. Understood? Now we'll have one more category of question, that is voltage is in the equation form. Okay, what is the equation form? That is V is equal to V max sine of omega t plus phi, right? So it would be how much? V max sine omega t is the angular frequency and phi. But for calculation purpose, we always need VRMS, and relationship between VRMS and Vmax is VRMS is equal to Vmax by root 2. I think this you have studied in the 12th class also. What is VRMS? Can you tell me what is RMS? RMS is the root mean square, right? So VRMS is the root mean square value, and for calculation we always need VRMS. Like for example, one question I'm teaching you, that it is from your paper 2021. They have given the voltage in the equation form, that is 282.85 sine of 100 pi t plus 50 degree is connected to an impedance of current equation I of t 14.15 cos of 100 pi t plus 30 degree. Okay, understood? Now see, in this case, first of all we need to convert it into the standard equation. As I told you, the standard equation of current is how much? I is equal to I max sine of omega t plus phi. But instead of sine, they have given us the equation in form of cos. So we need to convert it into sine first. How will we convert it into sine? By adding plus 30 degree to the existing angle. So it would be 14.15 sine 100 pi t plus 30 plus 90. Okay, understood? So we are getting what we are getting. 90 plus 30 is how much? 120 degree. Got it? Now after comparing these two equation, can so after comparing the value, we'll get omega is 100 pi, I max is this one, V max is this one. Right? Clear? So we need to calculate Z. Z is how much? V by I. So it would be VRMS divided by IRMS. Yes or no? VRMS is how much? Vmax by root 2. IRMS is how much? Imax by root 2. Right? Root Root 2 cancel, and can we get the value 282.85 and 14.15, right? Now we need to calculate the Z angle. Draw the phasor diagram. How will you get the phasor diagram? Now we need to calculate the angle between voltage and current. As you can see, the standard 0 degrees here, right? And the voltage angle is 50 degrees, so 50 degrees something like here, right? And the current angle is 120 degrees, so 120 degrees something like here, right? That is 120 degree. Now we need to get the angle between the voltage and the current, that is the impedance angle. I told you phi is the angle, that is how much, 120 minus 50, how much it is? 70. Okay, so now we got the angle as 70 degree, right or not? You have to draw this and then only you will get it. So 282.85 divided by 14.15 is how much we'll get. Z is 19.98 and angle you will get it as 70 degree. Understood? Hmm? Now this is in the polar form. Can you convert it into the rectangular form? Convert it. Yeah, so after converted into polar rectangular form, we'll get 6.8 plus j 18.7. That is R plus j XL form, right? R, if we'll compare it, R is 6.8 and XL is 18.7, right? R we are getting as 6.8 and XL we are getting as 18.7. So if we know the value of XL, can we get the value for L? So whenever they'll give you the equation kind of question, they'll ask you the elements. Okay, elements means they can ask you the R and L value. And in this question, they ask you the active power and the reactive power. So active power formula is VI cos phi, right? V is how much? V max by 2 root 2 because we need to calculate RMS. Then I is how much? I max by root 2. Cos phi is how much? Phi we have already calculated, as I told you, the angle of impedance is phi. So we can get the value of P and we can get the value of Q, right? Understood? Now in this question, they ask you, note it down first up to here, midterm question, two parallel branch A and B. ZA is R plus JXL, ZB is R minus J, is connected with ZC in R and combination of L. If it is positive, then it would be inductor. If it is negative, then it is capacitor, right? So it would be 8 plus J6, 10 minus J8, 4 plus J2. And they said the voltage across C means the voltage across this one is, they have given 58 plus J0. Now you need to calculate IA, IB and the angle IA and IB. Tell me, this is from your midterm in IA, IB. According to current division, IA equal to total current, right? Multiplied by the opposite impedance. Opposite impedance minus, right? Divided by the which are connected parallel. So the opposite impedance, that is 8 plus 6 plus 10 J8, right? Now, but that we need to calculate. Don't have total current and we don't have IA. At least we need one value now. See, in this case, they have given you the voltage and the impedance, right? Is equal to Voltage across this one is 58. I we don't know, Z we know, that is 4 plus J2, right? Can we get the total current? This is the total current, right? 58 angle 0 divided by 4 plus J2. We can convert it into polar form, that we'll get a total current. We can substitute the value of total current over here in the current division rule formula, then we'll get IA. And if we'll get IA and I, then we can get IB also, because I is equal to IA plus IB only. This is active, calculate active PI cos phi R by Z. We can get R. T, we can get it by the formula of root of R square cell minus X also get it, right? Similarly, we have reactive power, apparent power, we can get it triangle P over here, S over here, right? Understood? Now I'll teach graph based question. The question from this one kind of, like suppose you'll have this rectangle, or suppose you have the graph like, yeah, these three. This all this one I'm taking same value like current. It can be current goes maximum 5 amp, also 5 ampere. This is time, right? So it 1 3 0 1 3. Okay, kinds of question, they average value, and they can ask you the RMS value. Okay, what is the I average? I average is limit from alpha to I of t divided by the, similarly IRMS, how much? IRMS is limit when alpha I divided by the base. Okay, so as you can see, this is equal. We'll take the output here only. Also the symmetrical form and negative form is same, so take it up. Kinds of base length is much, it moves 1 is equal to 1, so base length 1 minus, that is equal to 1. For this one, base length, that is, got it? Yeah. Now for this, yeah, now for this case have to complete, right? Particular case in base length minus 0, that is equal to, understood the difference? Now in this also limit value to 1, vary from 0 to, now this we go base length to calculate I, as you that I we need to calculate. I is, can we take tan theta, right angle triangle? Tan theta is perpendicular, the perpendicular. You are taking the current I, and in the base, take the base time. So I is how 5 amp. Time is how much? Can we say that I is equal to 5t? Value of I, base length and the limit, and then solve it. And then solve it, we have to integrate first. Then it would be 5t square by light and limit 0 to 1. Just at t equal to 1, then you equal to 0. So 5 into 1 ka square by 0.5, right? See, if we want to calculate IRMS, that case I square means 25 square, right? So if I'll do the integration, 25t divided by the base length, in root the integration, then in that case 25 by 3, right? You can take it common outside, then that would be 1 by root 5, 1 minus 2, right? So it would be under the roots 5 only. Final answer would be 5 by root. Got it? Now you should, and what is factor? Factor is by kf, and its is RMS divided by average. Okay. Similarly, we have peak factor is by k, and its is value divided by RMS. Value is the maximum. Suppose we'll take it in terms of IRMS. So IRMS divided by I average. IRMS equal to I max by root, as I told you earlier. And I average is how much? I max by 5, right? In this case, I'll substitute I max by root divided by I average, pi max by pi. I max cancel, pi by. If we'll solve it further, you will get the form as 1.11. So its value is fixed. Okay. Thirdly, factor is value means maximum value by RMS max. You can take it in terms of voltage or current, whatever. PRMS is by root in max 1 point. So form factor value is always fixed 1.1. Factor value is always fixed 1.41.